Hey, winter cut day 39 and we're happy. Let's get the lights on. So, this is the fourth day in a row having under 1,000 calories. And I gotta say, it's really good. I'm enjoying it. I look forward to my chicken breast nightly and my protein shake spaced throughout the day. And yeah, at this point, I know it's going to go really well. I should be able to get to 145 in about 5 weeks. And from there, we'll see if I need to chill out for a bit, maintain, and then cut some more or bulk. So, I feel like this next bulk is going to be historical. It's going to be wonderful, and I'm excited for it. But I think the cut will be historical as well, and you guys will get to see a pretty cool version of me. So, I mean, right now I don't look too bad, but I look even better and leaner and potentially even shreddy. Who knows? But yeah, I will be... So, my actual weight will be 155 because of creatine, or at least probably I'll be up around 8 to 10 pounds because that's what happened last time I took creatine. But I will be losing 15 pounds of fat in the meantime while I gain the water weight from creatine, so that's exciting. But right now, we have the latter half of our protein shake left over from earlier. I had it at about 8 in the morning, something like that. And, yeah. What I'm doing to kind of curb my appetite is just really make everything savory, right? Like salt and seasonings, they don't have any calories, right? So when I get this Kinder's caramelized onion butter, my favorite seasoning, or, you know, Frank's Red Hot original seasoning, that, I mean, it has like no calories, and it's so good. So I'll slap that all over my chicken breast, like covered, and bake it in the air fryer. We're good to go. So, I mean, and it's so good. I'll have usually 1 or 2 chicken breasts depending on how much protein I had throughout the day before. Throughout the day, you know, before having the chicken breast. But yeah, so this is going to put me up to 72 grams of protein once I finish this for the day. And then I'm going to have probably about 12 ounces of chicken breast again. And so we're just hammering in the chicken breast. And with that said, that's going to curb my appetite, saving solid food for the end of the day. You know, not eating at the beginning at all or throughout any of it. I usually eat my first meal at about 11 o'clock. So, yeah, though, I'm not really... I'm a little hungry right now, but I'm really not that hungry, and I'm not hungry enough to actually think about eating anything, right? And I'm kind of relishing in the feeling of being hungry because I know that it's actually pushing me towards a goal, but my appetite doesn't feel like insane right now. Like, honestly, I'll be real with you guys. The cravings flare up once it turns, you know, about 10 at night. The cravings really flare up. But that's only after, you know, I start making the chicken. So yeah, my brain kind of just puts that out there and says, hey, since we have food, we're going to activate our appetite. And that makes me really enjoy the chicken breast. So, but another weapon in my arsenal, right? I haven't tried this yet. I haven't needed it. But, all right, these Jellos, I believe, are about 10 calories. And they're really good. I've had them before, but I haven't had them so far in this cut. So, with that said, if we get some really bad cravings after the chicken, we're going to have a Jello and maybe some whipped cream also. So that'll be about 25 calories total for that. But we're tracking this all in the app. Really aggressive short-term cut because I've already been cutting slowly for so long. I'm like, you know what? Let me just knock this out of the way. You know, get this done. Because I just want to bulk, man. So let's drink this protein shake. I will see you guys in the garage. Alright, boys. We are on the cardio bike. I know I need to do it. I should probably do it even more than I already do. But, yeah. We're going to be on it for about probably 15, 20 minutes. Nothing crazy. We can't really go out on the walk right now unless I plan on getting soaked. So, you know, it is what it is. But I may as well get some steps where I can, clear out some space in my room or something. Well, actually, my room's pretty spacious. So I'll probably just walk and pace back and forth in my room for a while after this and get some steps in like a weirdo. Who gets in their steps, right? Only weirdos get their steps in. Church was good today. I enjoyed it. Very fun as always and really awesome. You know, I think feeling the tangible presence of the Holy Spirit is something that a lot of people just never feel in their life, and that's a really sad thing. And, you know, oftentimes, man, people get so secretive about the Holy Spirit. They want to hide it. These Christians, they have the Holy Spirit in them, but they don't want to be public with it and help people like we were meant to, you know? Like when Jesus says, lay hands on the sick and see them recover and everything, and clothe the needy and feed the hungry and all this. It's like you don't really see too many Christians out doing that these days, but what I like about, you know, this church that I go to is they are so big on just biblical, you know, church, biblical Christianity, and it involves helping people and actually seeing a move of the Holy Spirit and a revival, you know. So it's always a good time at my church. I look forward to it. But yeah. With that said, that's a good way to start off my week. I'm a night owl, so waking up super early in the morning doesn't necessarily go super well with my sleep schedule. But what I've been doing as a bodybuilder to maintain my sleep is I get about 6 milligrams of melatonin, and I just chop it up at different times. So I'll have, 1 milligram at 10 o'clock, 1 milligram at 11, 1 milligram at 12, 1 milligram at 1. And then if I'm not asleep by then, I'll just take a rest and I'll fall right asleep. But the trick is with melatonin, you shouldn't just do it all at once. You should do it incrementally, because your body releases melatonin that way naturally. So you want to try to mimic the natural release. So that way it's not like, oh man, I just took a melatonin, why am I not tired? You know, because when I took a full melatonin at about 10:30 last night, I was not tired. And I did not get tired for a while until I took another milligram and another milligram. And then before bed, I took 3 milligrams and I fell asleep at 12:30. And I got a solid 7.5 hours of sleep. But, you know, that's my thing, guys, that I always talk about. If you were a bodybuilder, we know how important sleep is, and you cannot be sacrificing sleep. Like, I saw some study done, I forget who it was who did it, but it was basically showing the impact of fat to muscle ratio whenever you get less sleep, or a night of 5 hours one time a week. And it was basically showing that the group that slept less had a lot less muscle retention and gain than the group that slept more, right? And the group that got 8 hours every night. So the group that's getting 5 hours here and there, or get whatever, even one night can harm your hypertrophy. So I'm not saying you gotta be ridiculous about it, but you definitely gotta consider, like I could have just went to bed last night at like 5 in the morning, naturally when I get tired, you know? And I get naturally tired every night at about, genuinely like can't stay awake tired at about 5. But I'm disciplined enough to just put myself to sleep. So, you know, whether it's if I have church the next day or some random early thing, I can easily just, all right, I'm just gonna go to bed now. Doesn't matter really what time it is, as long as I didn't just wake up, you know? So, I don't know. My whole point is a lot of you guys are like me and you have church and stuff on Sunday and you get no sleep. Or a lot of you guys go to school or you got jobs that you gotta wake up early for and you're sacrificing sleep every night saying you wanna be a bodybuilder. Well, I'll tell you what, you're not gonna be a bodybuilder if you're getting no sleep. You need to figure that out quick. And I'd say at the very least, if you can't get a full 8 hours, get naps during the day, because that probably helps. So, I don't know. I hyper prioritize it. Especially like if one night, like today I got 7.5, I wanna make sure I get like probably at least 8, if not 9 hours tonight. So, I don't know, that's just a little nugget. I've been going a steady 12.6 this whole time. I'm gonna switch to my hands, my quads are burning. But yeah, we got chest day tomorrow. I know there's a lot of guys who go, there's no outer chest, bro. There's no inner chest. You can only target, the whole thing. And yeah, I agree with that. When a muscle contracts from one end, the whole muscle contracts. You can't just say, oh, I'm gonna only contract the outer portion of my chest or only the inner. But there's something called the principle of neuromechanical matching, which basically says, no matter what, you cannot override this. Your body is gonna use whatever has the best leverage, whatever muscle has the best leverage for that exercise. So for example, when I'm doing a lat pull down, my arms are up all the way overhead. There's no tension on my lats here because my arms are at about like, I don't know, 160 degrees elevation. So the thing is, the lats have good leverage only when you're about 90 degrees and below of humeral elevation. So basically, when you're halfway down is whenever your lats start to actually start working. Whereas the top half range of motion is, believe it or not, pecs and traps, okay? Rhomboids and everything. Rear delts, things like that. So, but mainly a lot of it's chest, which a lot of you guys are surprised by. But the chest actually has really good leverage at high degrees of that looks like something bad. The chest actually has really good leverage at high degrees of humeral elevation. So anything above this point, the chest likes to do a lot of the work and pull things down, right? Which is why a lot of guys swear by pullovers for their chest, even though people go, oh, that's a back exercise. It's really not. Because your lats have awful leverage from here to here anyway, which is the bulk of the exercise's range of motion. So my point is that not only does neuromechanical matching choose whichever muscle has best leverage in the range of motion, such as pecs from this point up in a lat pull down, neuromechanical matching will also choose regions of a muscle that are strongest to perform a lift. So for example, if my outer chest, for whatever reason, is just genetically bigger than my inner chest, then my body's going to want to use more of my outer chest during certain exercises. So kind of the outer end of the fibers. They're still contracting from end to end just like any other fiber would. But the thing is, certain parts of the fiber can actually experience more tension, which actually causes regional hypertrophy. You look at a bunch of different studies, they're finding out now that the bro science was kind of right? If I do curls and I'm always doing them in a super lengthened position, I'm probably going to get more biceps hypertrophy up here, right? Whereas if I do curls in a really shortened position, people really are working their peak more because they're working the front end of it more. This was literally shown in a study on preacher curls done recently where they found the biceps brachii hypertrophy in the distal portion of the muscle belly was actually bigger than any other exercise that they had the participants perform. So the guys who did the preacher curls got the biggest peak, all right? Now, it wasn't a huge measurement or a massive difference. With regional hypertrophy, you're not gonna see like a very, very noticeable change, just like inner or outer chest or upper or lower hamstring. Like the whole thing's gonna grow pretty uniformly, especially based on what you've been born with. So like, you know, some guys have really bad bicep peaks and it inserts like a freaking ramp up into their shoulder, right? It means their upper bicep has a crap ton of development, and unfortunately there's not much they can do because their body's always gonna just use their upper bicep more so than anything else, right? But what they can do to ameliorate that, and over years and years of training and discipline, they could develop a more uniform bicep peak than they already have. It looks like I'm just screwing around, but I'm just keeping this moving because my quads were burning like crazy a minute ago. So, but yeah, with that said, guys, I've noticed, even though you cannot change it like wildly, all right, I started doing wide grip, ultra wide grip, everything on my chest days, right? You're seeing me, if you look at any of my videos, max width, ultra wide grip, huge stretch on the chest, all right? And you gotta think also, when you do a wide grip on a press and your shoulder angle is at about 70 degrees, when you take a wider grip and you keep that shoulder angle the same, you're actually just externally rotating the shoulder, which further lengthens the pecs. So, what's happening from that? I notice the outer portion of my chest, and just my chest in general, but especially the outer portion of my chest, is growing pretty significantly, right? Because you look at people like Arnold or Alex Eubank or Marcus Rule, and I name these guys specifically because, well, the one thing they all had in common, or have in common, is they genetically are gifted in the chest department. But when you look at their training, what do? They literally do ultra wide grip. Marcus Rule, you watch his training clips, and people said he had the best chest, okay? I mean, he did ridiculously wide grip, like wider than anybody I've ever seen. And guess what? His chest was bigger than anybody on stage. Bigger than Ronnie's. He dwarfed Ronnie, okay, in terms of the chest department. And Ronnie had a huge chest, all right? You look at Larry Wheels is another good example. Always, this guy's doing really wide grip, and he's got a really long humerus. So by default, the moment arm is going to be much longer, and it's going to favor putting significant tension on the chest when you're in that bottom half range of motion, right? That's why people do flies. They lengthen the moment arm, or their actual arm, and they make it to where there's not much tension here or here, right? But there's a ton of tension here. Why? More so than in a traditional dumbbell press, because you're lengthening the moment arm, you're making it harder. So guys who have a long humerus, they are making it harder just because of their anatomy. They're making it harder in the bottom position. So anyway, what's my point? Alex Eubank, known for his chest more than anything. His chest is huge and nobody can deny that. Whether they say he's skinny or whatever, he's natty, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I don't care what you say about him. Guy's got a chest on him. Arnold, guy's got a chest on him. Yes, genetics play a huge role, and nobody can get Arnold's chest unless they have the genetics for it. But with that said, if you can look at their training and take from it what you will, I say, anecdotally speaking, looking at what they do and what every other giant chest gym bro does, they all somehow take wide grip. That's all I'm saying. So I'm saying right now, I'm not your trainer. I'm not your personal trainer. And I'm not telling you that this is backed by the utmost science whatsoever. I'm just telling you kind of what I know and what I have seen in my training by taking anecdotal experiences and applying them to myself. And from that, you could do what you want with that information. But I'm here to tell you right now, wide grip to me seems worth it. So, I don't know. We're already 15 minutes in and I got to talk to you guys about a whole lot of cool stuff. I'm going faster with my arms on this bike. It says I'm going 13 miles an hour with my arms, all right? But I was getting 12.6 earlier with my legs. So, just kind of funny. And this is just a normal pace for me. I'm not trying to actually push super hard. So, all right. I kind of like the feeling of my lats when I like pull this. Ugh. 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 Okay, now I'm trying. Got up to 19 and a half there. Without my legs. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah, man, not much else to say. I'm not gonna do any posing today because, I don't know, I don't wanna be redundant. Do the same thing a couple days in a row. But I think this is a good off day sort of, I think this is a good off day style video. I mean, I'm not in the gym. I don't have any weird recovery workouts to do. Or I don't have any kind of workouts to do. So I figure just show this, right? Show what I do normally. I mean, honestly, guys, if you want, you could let me know in the comments. I could include my entire day inside of these videos. Like, I could show you my lifts, my walks, my cardio, you know, everything I already show you and then some, more of my meals, which I'm not having any actually on the cut, except for the last meal of the day. But I could show you that too. Even if it's just a random B-roll clip of me like watching a TV show while I eat, who knows? I will see you guys for tonight's meal. So I'm actually about to hit up some Xbox with a cousin. Don't forget, PR Lifestyle, code Maxwell15 for 15% off. They have knee wraps, elbow wraps, wrist wraps, straps, camo, red camo, blue camo, you know, all this stuff. And get Raw Nutrition, where I get my creatine from, and different pre-workouts. That's going to be code MSharky996. So, yeah, basically, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Take care. See you tomorrow for chest day.